Hello and welcome to Straight Dude Date Night, a show where two straight dudes go on a date and they review it. My name is David Stallings and I am one of these straight dudes.
And I am Ricky Rivera, the other straight dude.
Today we have a treat for you. We have another super fan in our midst, an expert in the making. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Carissa Rivera.
Woo!
Big super fan.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks
my
for the
wife.
invite. Oh no.
Yes, you can do that
no.
the whole
My
show.
wife.
Please don't.
She's here. We've got her, folks, ladies and gentlemen. She's here, the mother of my child, my wife, the one who
My wife.
Oh
my
no.
house in order
Andrew,
in my life.
Yeah, I was gonna say Andrew life.
Yep.
Today we saw the brand new Little Mermaid, the live action one, which, Carissa, I understand that you consider yourself to be a lifelong expert for the Little Mermaid. Is this true?
Yeah, connoisseur, really. Yeah.
Can you tell us some of your accolades regarding this?
Oh, I've watched the movies.
Huge. Which one specifically?
More recently, I watched the first one,
Okay.
and
big.
then there's like The Little Mermaid live.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
watched
best
that one.
one.
That one was amazing.
That one's hype.
Yeah.
That
right.
with John Stamos in
Yes,
there.
John
Oh my God.
Stamos, Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Shaggy's in that one.
Yes, everyone else's costume except him, but somehow it works.
And
He's
somehow
just-
you think, yeah, that actually works.
Yeah. It's perfect.
It works because if you saw Shaggy in a crab costume, you would have been like,
That's
that
silly.
looks so silly.
Yeah.
Because you were expecting him to not dress up. And then you see him not dress up and you're like, yeah, that's what I thought.
That works. Yeah, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Because in that he's just like in a NASCAR costume. That's
Right.
just all red.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me.
Have you seen The Little Mermaid 2?
Not in a while.
Have you seen the Little Mermaid TV show?
Actually, no.
Was there a TV?
See,
show?
There was.
I'm the expert.
There was. Yeah.
Are you the expert?
on Disney
expert.
Do
Plus.
we need Carissa to lead?
I'll just go. Thanks for the invite.
We invited you for a reason, but you haven't even seen the
Dude.
TV show.
Yeah, I know. I should have watched that.
I guess we'll have to.
I don't even know if it exists on Disney Plus.
It does.
We'll have to have a little competition between you two to see who is actually the expert today.
Okay, what was The Little Mermaid 2 about?
I would assume life after marriage.
You've done
Intense.
nothing.
I haven't seen it in a
It's
while.
about her daughter.
Is it really?
They have a baby.
I
No
do remember
shot.
that. I
Yeah,
remember that vaguely.
They have a daughter, and then she wants to leave the land and go into the ocean.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a big cycle. You know?
I was gonna
She
say.
wants to be a mermaid.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
When you break the cycle, when it's like, the mermaid has become a human now. Well, now we're
The
going to
human.
continue having offspring that go back and forth.
Yeah.
It's a whole
Makes
ordeal
sense.
we have to go through every time.
The
Oh,
TV
yeah, I
show,
get that.
I don't remember much about that one.
Yeah,
That one is-
I saw it on Disney Plus when I was
it
rewatching the
looked
movies.
Terrible. It was. I only ever watched it because it was on at like 4:30 in the morning.
Oh gosh.
And that's how I knew I was up too early. So I'd go back to sleep, and then I'd wake up, and the Lilo and Stitch show was on, and I said, "Awesome,
Yes.
time for some real TV."
I vaguely remember this TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
The
Little
little-
Mermaid, and then it was the Lion King show,
Yes.
and I would be like, "I'm almost awake," and then the Lilo and Stitch show would come on, and I'd go, "I'm awake. It's time to get ready for school."
Oh, man, I completely forgot about that. My
Unlocking memories.
Yeah.
my main thing with these movies was that of every Disney movie, Little Mermaid was my sister's favorite. So we watched that a ton. So I've seen it many times. But the only thing that I care the most about with Little Mermaid is my interaction when I was like 3 with Ariel in Disneyland. The real life Ariel. And
Yeah.
apparently, 3-year-old David, smitten.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
There's a photo of me somewhere being like, oh my gosh, it's her. She's beautiful. I get a picture with her.
At Disneyland? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
love
she's like
that.
off in like the middle of nowhere, like near Tomorrowland.
Yep. It
And
was
you're
like
like,
a whole
whoa,
specific
whoa.
area.
You're
Yeah, it's like the
"Ariel."
rocks. You're like, I love you. I'm in love.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
This
as a
was
kid,
made
too.
just for me.
Yeah, Little Mermaid.
My
Ariel.
queen.
Yeah. And she'd just be laying there.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah.
Mermaid outfit.
Because she
just
can't really
sitting
go
there.
anywhere. Yeah.
It's like, hi. Like, oh man, props to the people who do that stuff.
Literally.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So
Sorry, we got sidetracked
Yeah, I know.
immediately.
No,
Yeah.
dude, I mean, this is a good start for everything I'm going to blow up on with this movie. Let me go into a quick synopsis. I'm not going to give it much because at this point in your life, everyone should have seen this movie.
We watched the new Little Mermaid.
We watched the new one, okay? Which basically means if you've seen the first one, you know the whole thing, except it's worse, okay?
Yep.
It's the whole thing. It looks awful. I can't be biased in this. I will stop on this. Yeah, she's a mermaid. She's very interested in humans. Dad doesn't like that. Dad knows that humans killed Mom.
It's Daddy.
It's Daddy. Daddy Triton knows that humans killed their mom. Ariel doesn't care. She's very interested. She takes every treasure that she can find from human shipwrecks. And eventually goes up to the surface, saves Prince Eric from a shipwreck fire in the middle of a storm. I never understood like ship fires in the midst of a storm when it's like pouring rain and there's waves rocking over it.
Right.
Does that like
Yeah, you're like, how is it still on fire?
it never processes for me of like what is in the fire that it's not going out this whole time. That's some
Gunpowder.
Why do we have
Maybe.
nothing but gunpowder?
Yeah.
Nothing but gunpowder and oil.
And this wasn't even like this was just like a trading ship.
Yeah, they
That's
were
true.
they said that
Not
they
even
had
trading,
sugar
they're just
cane.
voyaging, yeah.
They had
Yeah.
sugar cane. That's
Yeah.
it. Like
Maybe the sugar fuels a fire. I don't know.
how does it stay so it doesn't matter. That's just something I've always thought about.
Yeah.
But they have sugar cane with no sand.
Right.
That's a Minecraft joke.
Stupid.
It's like, where's he going?
Audience.
Yeah. It's like, where's he going with this?
Ariel saves Prince Eric, and Prince Eric hears her voice and is like, oh my gosh, I have to find this woman. Ariel goes back into the water, and Daddy Triton finds out about her little shenanigans and then destroys all of the fun treasures she has found and says, you will stay in the ocean forever, to which she immediately runs to Aunt Ursula to get magic so she can become a human. At the expense of potentially her soul, and she has to kiss Prince Eric within 3 days. Again, it's literally the animated thing. Ariel and Prince Eric have a very fun time for 3 days. Nothing goes to plan. A fake woman shows up with Ariel's voice to steal
Vanessa.
Vanessa?
Her
Is that
name's
her name?
Vanessa.
That's
Yeah.
always been her name.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't get it
That's her
twisted.
It's
name.
Vanessa?
Yeah.
It's always Vanessa.
That's her name.
Yeah,
Yes.
Vanessa.
Vanessa.
That seems so out of place. That
Right.
name.
The only thing I remember from the first Little Mermaid about
Because
her,
she was your favorite
I loved
character.
her. She was so bad. Ooh.
Oh no.
I don't really like redheads, but she was a. Was that
She wasn't a redhead.
In
I know
the-
she was a brunette in the
Animated,
and I
yeah.
thought, oh, she's way prettier than Ariel. Except for when she has the crazy faces, but that's just because the
Yeah.
animation was so bad that every now and again you'll catch them in the transition scenes. So
Yeah.
her face looks like wonky.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So Vanessa, I guess, shows up.
Vanessa.
She gets attacked by the dog.
Tries to
Yes.
steal Prince Eric away. A marriage immediately is about to happen, and then this is thwarted by Ariel, who gets her voice back, but it's too late, and Ursula kills King Triton as leverage over Ariel, and then she becomes super big, and then we stab her with a shipwrecked boat that came back up, and it's literally the movie you watched when you were a kid. That
Except
Yeah.
bad.
Happily ever after.
happily ever after, all done.
The end.
Dunzo.
Mm-hmm.
With the worst send off in any movie I've ever seen at the end of this, which we'll go into.
That might have been the best part.
It was wild.
The
This might
end.
have been the best part of
The very end.
I just love that throughout this movie, after, like, I guess not throughout, but by the very end, when, like, Ariel transforms into a mermaid in front of all the humans, and also Vanessa becomes a huge squid that grabs Ariel and they yeet themselves off the castle. And then there's a huge storm, and then hundreds of mermaids at the end. All the humans are like, this is so cool.
Yeah. They're like dope.
This is just a vibe.
We
Yeah.
fear the sea gods.
Yeah.
Whatever's happening right now. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, our island in particular, our little kingdom, we are so scared of the water. We're cursed by it. But all these sea creatures, man, kind of cool.
Yep.
This is like, I think this is the way it should be. And
a vibe.
they don't bat an eye at it.
Right.
That, I mean, yeah, the ending was maybe the best part.
I enjoyed when they're sailing off, right, on this little boat.
At the very end.
And we zoom in on Eric's face, and he's dumbfounded at what he's looking at. We, the audience, haven't seen it yet. Then we pan away, and Ariel turns around and is like kind of shocked. And you just look in the water, and there's King Trident. The energy, I can't. It's gonna be okay. I gotta explain this because I can tell you what I think. But, you know, when you were like 6 years old, or not 6, you know, when you were like 10. And you knew you had a project due the next morning, and you got to go wake your mom up to take you to the store to go get the paper to do it.
The poster board, yeah.
And you know, like you walk in and you're kind of just like in your underwear, and you just your arms are to your side, and you're like, "Mom,
Mom, are you awake?
Are you awake?" That's what That's the energy I got from him when they turn around and look at King Trident. He's like,
Hey, can I come in?
He's just like, "My daughter."
Can I talk to my daughter? Yeah. I know you guys got married immediately, but like
just came out the water, not wet.
Not wet at all.
Not wet at all.
Not wet at all.
It's just the mermaid power. Except for every other mermaid that came out the water, they were all wet.
Yep.
But King Trident never had a drop of water on him. Not once.
I think he was trying too hard to be stoic in that scene. He was just like, like the audience can't see me, but it's just like, you know, just like.
Like I'm Big Chad. I got this.
Yeah.
I felt like
he's a weird dude.
I felt like that actor throughout the entire movie was having that energy.
Yeah.
Of like, well, I'm the king, and the king can't be. The only emotion he's got to have is mean stoic.
Right.
And then he just did that the entire time.
Right.
And to the point where his lines were getting messed up. Like I legit. Okay. Here's a huge thing that we'll start getting into. Spoiler alert, I hated this movie.
I don't think it's a spoiler. I think we knew that from the beginning.
Okay, we're going to get into it real quick. The entire first half of this movie where it's all underwater, I despised it.
You mean
because
Under the Sea?
Yeah, it's Under the Sea. I'm sorry. That's Under the Sea. Yes, I'm sorry. Forgive me, expert Carissa. Okay, man, I just embarrassed myself in front of the expert.
Semi-expert. That's up for debate now.
Dang it. Okay. All right. So Under the Sea, the whole first half Under the Sea, I hated because for some reason they decided that all of the human people, all the mermaids, the real actors, or not real actors, the live people, they had an audio effect on them the entire time that was like this reverb on them where they were like, it sounded like they were in a cave, but it was supposed to be like we're underwater.
Right.
But I hated it. It sounded so bad to me. It was so irritating the entire freaking time they were underwater. And especially during the songs, because they didn't do that with the fake fish or Sebastian and Flounder when they were talking. They were normal. And then we jump to a human person and they're in a cave for some reason. Oh my gosh. It's so annoying.
Which King Trident, that actor, Javier, whatever, he already has a very hard to understand voice.
Right.
All I could hear the whole movie was him just saying, Jack Sparrow. That's all I heard the whole time. I remember the name. It's Captain Salazar. That's what it is from Pirates of the Caribbean. But he's in like World's Edge or something like that. One of the later ones. And he's also in No Country for Old Men. And even in that movie, I don't know what he's ever saying. He just walks around and shoots people with the air gun. I love it.
That was definitely, the reverb thing, and then I really struggled with that actor because every time, and I said it audibly multiple times in the theater like a jerk, but I kept going, what? I couldn't understand this guy.
I didn't know what he was saying ever. No, he's a hard guy to understand.
Oh man.
What did you think of him, Carissa?
Gosh.
Super fan expert, Little Mermaid, Carissa.
See, I didn't hate this movie, but I didn't love it. Could it have been better? Absolutely.
Okay.
Specifically King Triton, I think he was okay.
Give us, because I have nothing but bad things to say about this movie this episode. So how about...
So I'm going to give you some good things that I liked.
You jump in real quick because you actually have some good stuff to say.
Yeah.
Right? So give us a good thing that you liked.
Okay. So I really enjoyed... So like seeing the first one like more recently, I really enjoyed that they included some of the things from that movie into this movie. Like some of the lines, I was like, oh, that's in the first movie. And like, I was just like, that was so cool.
Like specific references throughout the movie to the original then.
Yeah, like there were like specific lines where like either Sebastian was saying something or someone else was saying something that was like a direct line from the original movie.
Okay.
So that was really cool.
Before they build up the songs, there's always like
yeah, that too. What else?
Except for the best line in the whole movie. They didn't.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. They did not include the best line. So
what's the best one?
So in this movie, Halle Bailey refers to, or I guess Ariel refers to King Triton as father the entire time. In the original, she refers to him as daddy. So
yes, you're right.
yes. So when he's like in her cave, like destroying things, she's like, "But daddy, I love him."
That's
And
the best line.
Yeah.
But daddy, I love him. No, and he just destroys everything.
Exactly.
That line is awesome. But daddy, I love him.
So we were at Disneyland like a few years ago, and we were just like walking around and we saw these people with these pink hats on, and we're like, oh, interesting. So we look closer, and on the hat it says, "Daddy, I love him."
Oh, for
And we're
bachelor
like,
party.
yes.
That's great.
Right. So we're like, best line.
I completely forgot about that line. Again, the last time I saw, I mean, I watched The Little Mermaid a ton as a kid, but the last time I watched it I was probably like 7.
Right.
It was forever ago.
Been a long time.
But I do remember.
Banger movie.
I do remember constantly, like the worst part of the original, of just always being weirded out by the big fight at the very end.
Oh, yeah.
Ursula becomes huge, and then King Trident goes big O mode too.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they fight in front of the ship, and then
Yeah.
Vanessa's sitting there just fight. Oh no, she's not. No, remember Vanessa fights the dog too.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole
weird.
big old fight at the very end. It's super weird, and
And Ariel can't talk the whole time. She's just sitting there like.
Before she breaks the shell.
I mean, did she do that in the first?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't think she does it. I think Scuttle grabs it and then throws it down.
Okay, big question, Carissa. I don't remember how big of it. I recall Scuttle being like, he shows up like once or twice.
Yeah.
In the first movie.
Yeah.
I forgot who Scuttle was.
How consistent of a character is Scuttle in the original?
I'm trying to remember.
Because was he constantly there?
He was around the Dinglehopper scene.
He was definitely there for the Dinglehopper.
I remember that.
And
Yeah.
At the end, he is the one that breaks the news about Ursula being Vanessa.
That's true. He is. He does play a pretty big role in the original too.
Like a messenger.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
But he's not like definitely not in it as much as
Awkwafina.
they put Scuttle in this one.
Yeah.
Because
She's in everything.
she's in everything.
Awkwafina,
apparently.
yeah.
Awkwafina, she really is in everything.
Awkwafina as Scuttle, the big old birdie. I don't recall the bird being that important in the first movie, but
Yeah.
for some reason in this one, they made the bird as such an extremely important character, and I wanted absolutely no scenes with the bird. The bird was awful.
Oh man, I just like, I don't know. It was weird that she was in the water with them at the beginning.
Yeah, she could just.
That was strange.
They changed the bird.
Right.
In the animated, it's a seagull.
Yes.
In this one, it's like a water bird.
Right.
It's literally just like I think that's what the title of the bird is.
Right.
Water bird.
Is water
Right.
bird really?
It's
Something
not
like
a seagull
that.
in this one.
It's not a
completely
seagull.
different.
No.
I mean, it did look like a weird bird in
Right.
this one. It had something weird going on. Also, why did someone tell me, why did Scuttle have to have an awful rap song in the middle of the movie?
Awkwafina's a rapper. That's the only
Oh
reason.
my
Bro,
gosh.
that was the most random thing to add into the movie, and it sounded like screeching.
Well, so the actor that played Sebastian was also in Hamilton
Who was
on
he?
Broadway, Lafayette.
Oh,
So, yes.
Oh!
Yes.
I didn't realize that was him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was him. So like that's kind of what he does.
Lin-Manuel
What's his name?
Miranda wrote all the new songs. All
Yes.
the new
He did.
songs. So of course he said, I need my boy.
And he's
Yeah.
gonna get his friends in.
Exactly.
Gotta get Lafayette.
Yeah.
He's got that clout, baby. We understand the game. We
Yeah.
understand it.
Yeah, people like who they like. We get it.
Yeah.
Lin-Manuel Miranda with these new songs, they missed. They were not good.
I love Lynn. I think the man is a genius composer of our time.
He's been banging out songs too.
Oh yeah,
Kanto banger song.
This guy, he did Moana too.
Bangers.
Like, this guy is great.
Bangers.
Yeah.
But all the new songs in this movie, I don't know how much of a hand he had in it, but you know, every great person has a bad time eventually. All of the new songs in this movie, horrible. Horrible. Prince Eric's song, and I don't know if these were like they're from the musical version or something.
Maybe.
But Prince Eric's song, the Scuttlebug song. Oh my
Scuttlebutt, yeah.
Scuttlebutt, whatever. These songs were so bad. They did not sound good. They were so abrupt. And oh my gosh, bro, I'm gonna be the negative person. I'm such a negative person today.
No, it's fine.
No, it's not. I was so excited to go to the movies today, to go to the theater. I didn't have high expectations for this movie, and the expectations were surpassed exponentially down. Like, oh my god.
So I thought that Prince Eric, great voice. The song that he was singing, kind of mid.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really set him up for failure on that one because he actually is a great singer.
Yeah.
The whole time I was like, oh, this is impressive, but I don't think Prince Eric needed a song.
That too.
I just don't think he needed it. I would have been way happier putting in the chef scene than having Prince Eric sing a song.
I'm so sad they didn't include that.
I heard only one thing about this movie. I heard one thing about this movie before seeing it.
Yeah.
And it was like a couple weeks ago in a podcast I listened to, who these people, they live in LA, so they got to see like an early cut of it.
Okay.
And they were like, all they said was like, the chef is awesome. They were like, chef part, amazing. That's all they said. They had nothing negative to say. They just mentioned that. So this, I wasn't hyped about this movie, but was like, I'm excited for the chef. I'm excited for the chef. And then in the final cut, there's no chef. There's no chef. Apparently it was Lin-Manuel Miranda as the chef. They cut it.
I'm so upset.
They cut it. Best song in the whole thing. It's gone.
It took 4 years to make this movie, and they never once said we should keep the chef scene. Like, that's sad.
Yeah, right?
The chef scene was awesome.
Like, I feel like that would have, like, at least brought it up a little bit.
Yeah, it would have been... I would
have loved to have seen that live action. That'd been horrifying. Cracking crabs open.
Right?
Because he does it in the...
Maybe that's why they cut it.
It probably was horrific. Because in the movie, he is like chopping crabs and like throwing them in boiling pots of water. So they're probably like, this is a bit too much.
Yeah, we're making every sea creature sing and dance in this, and they're all very real. And then are we going to show them all being sliced and diced and boiled? I could see that as the reason. But I don't care. That was the one I want. That was the only scene I wanted.
Not putting that song in was so sad. I loved that. That's one of the best songs in the movie.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they could have cut Prince Eric's song and then like entered that in instead. But
when Prince Eric's song is the only new song in my mind, that made sense.
Yeah, that's
he's
true.
He's like singing about wanting to find this girl, which I thought, you know what? Actually, that makes sense why he's so in love with their voice, because he has a little musical talent himself.
Yeah,
but still, it felt very weird, very out of like. I don't know. It just, when then he's like, the best part too is I was laughing when it happened. You and I were laughing. Yep. Before the song, his mom, the queen, was like, you're not going on adventures anymore on ships. Never again.
You almost died.
Sings
you can't do this again.
Halfway through the song, he's on a ship. Don't know how we got here. He's just on a ship. And David's like, that might be a dream. No, he's just on a ship.
And then it never clarifies that he's just on a boat now. He's
on a voyage and he's gone again. But apparently this was just like around the island because he was back in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I can understand the addition of that song because my understanding with musicals is that, because I don't recall this in the original Little Mermaid. I don't think Prince Eric has any songs.
No,
right?
I feel like he's a very minor character in the movie.
Prince Eric
honestly,
really
he's not that big in the original.
Right.
But typically the like main character and then like a love interest or whatever, the love interest always has to have some kind of like their own solo release song, like a big song, but it's usually later on.
Right.
And like that's my understanding of musicals in general. So I think that's why they added it in, but it wasn't that good. And then it's just him running around. It's just him running around the island. Like, where is she?
It kind of gave me like Zac Efron in High School Musical, like I'm not gonna stop to hit. You know what I mean? Just like running around, like just like stomping around.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the Bet on It song.
Yeah, exactly.
Bet on it. That's what
exactly.
I was trying to say. It's literally Bet on It.
That's the vibe.
I guess.
Yeah.
Can I tell you guys something very embarrassing?
Yes, please.
I used to sit in my house with my little iPod at the time and listen to that song on repeat all the time when I was like 11 or 12. Like I'm so glad I was homeschooled at that time because no one else had to hear me do that except my family. And they were like, yeah, keep doing that. Great.
Bro, me and some friends, we performed Get Your Head in the Game at a talent show.
No, you didn't.
Oh,
no,
no.
you didn't.
School. Yeah, like in like 5th grade or something.
No, you didn't.
Oh yeah, we auditioned for it. Didn't make the talent show.
Oh,
What?
no.
How was this? Did you have like basketballs?
Please
and
tell me you
everything?
did.
What were you doing?
No, we just went on stage and just sang the song,
You
and then
did
they
not-
were like,
oh,
"Okay, I'll let you know if
no.
you make the talent show." We didn't make the talent show.
Not like imaginary basketballs, no.
I mean, like imaginary, but no, we just went up there and we
Oh,
sang it.
no.
Honestly, I don't remember it that well. I just know I did it
Wow.
because we didn't make it. So I was probably just really sad that I didn't make the talent show. Like, you didn't even get to be in the talent show. They just said, nah.
The 5th grade talent show. They're like, no, we have standards here. We can't
That's
do
so
this.
sad.
Standards. Y'all can't do that.
That's so sad.
If you had
In the
basketballs
cafeteria.
with you and tried doing any sort of choreography, I'm sure they would have been like, "Oh, this is cute." Let's
They
do
tried,
this.
yeah.
Fun.
They
Yeah.
tried, but just,
No, it
just
didn't
getting
work.
up there like a choir and just singing "Get Your Head in the Game."
Gotta get your head in the game.
Oh my gosh, Carissa, you're so right about that song. Though.
Yeah.
That whole scene does give off Bet on It vibes of just running through a green field,
Great.
Yeah.
singing about your emotions. I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna find her.
Yeah. Okay, so
Lay it on me.
everything I keep reading about this movie, about what they wanted to do or what people thought was going to happen, makes me more upset because I actually think those things would have saved it. Usually when you read like, oh, people thought about casting this person, and you're like, I mean, whoever they casted was totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
But with this one, I keep seeing that like Terry Crews was considered for King Triton. That'd have been awesome.
That'd been banger.
Jason Momoa was considered awesome. That'd have
Banger.
been fine. He's already a freaking merman.
Put him in every.
He
That's
is
true.
literally Aquaman.
I didn't
It's
think
about
so
that.
perfect.
Yeah.
That would have been fine. And then they chose the dude from No Country for Old Men who nobody knows what the heck he's saying. I think Pedro Pascal would have been a better King Triton.
Actually,
Honestly.
I could see it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people could have been better.
Yeah.
And then they say Ursula though.
Oh.
Look, people were really tripping out about the Halle Bailey casting. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Why was nobody upset about freaking Melissa McCarthy being Ursula?
Ugh.
Why was that allowed?
It was so bad.
That was so bad. Melissa McCarthy has never sung, and she literally didn't
Her
know she
first-
could sing until this movie. I just read about this. She did not.
Wait,
know.
you read this? I thought
Yes.
you were just.
No,
I thought
this
you were
is
just
real.
going hard.
No,
right
this
now.
is real. This is real.
Okay.
She didn't know she could sing until this movie,
Bro,
and
would
then she
you-
got voice lessons to do the movie. How did she get the
Would-
Lizzo auditioned for the role, and I really don't care as much for Lizzo, but I did think, wow, she would have been a great Ursula. She went on Instagram, even auditioned publicly for the role, like in a serious audition, put it out there on the internet, and was like, please help me petition to be Ursula. And then they said, that was really good, Melissa McCarthy, you got it, ma'am. And even Melissa McCarthy was like, why did I get it? Like when she found out about Lizzo, she was like, well, how did I get the role? But she'd already signed contracts and all that, so like she can't say, obviously she's not gonna say no.
Yeah, she's not gonna say no. She's
not-
got
she's
a
like,
bunch of
"Oh,
money
dang,
coming
I
in.
didn't-
There's so much money coming in. I'll take
Like,
the
how did
voice
she
lessons.
get the role without even being able to sing? You have an actual singer who has won awards.
Would you consider what she did singing though? I really don't think she was that great.
So-
No,
singing.
she wasn't.
She
That's
was
what I'm
really
saying.
bad.
What's crazy is that I really do think that so much of this movie it did not hit because I think the audio throughout the movie was so bad.
Yeah.
And I actually love the Poor Unfortunate Souls song. I think it's so dope.
Yeah.
From the original,
Oh.
like that's a scary song.
slays.
Oh yeah.
And a scary whole thing, and you're,
Kills
oh my
it in the
god,
first
this
Yeah.
is terrifying. During the live action of her singing it, first off, I couldn't understand her when her audio was the most prevalent. Like, it wasn't being enunciated. But then also, they had so many effects of, like, fire and volcanic stuff going on that all I could hear was that instead of her actually singing, which it's a freaking musical. I care way more about the song than I do about all the effects you want to throw at me right now.
Oh, and then her little grin she did, the little she bites her lip. I was like,
So I was kind of shocked by that with that character, like Melissa McCarthy, I know her mainly as a comedian, right? She mainly does comedic stuff, right?
It's kind of a stretch, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That is the usual genre.
You're in the right genre.
But usually what comes with that is a lot more physicality too. And I get that she was in, like, I don't know if she was in like a suit or something throughout, but in the same thing that you said, Carissa, of the guy who played Triton seemed like, I gotta be stoic, so I'm going to be a Chad the entire time. It seemed like Melissa McCarthy was on a similar page of like, I guess I'm evil, which means I have to have one expression the entire time. I can't put any interesting expressions on any line here. It's just me trying to be terrifying, and it never hits.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I think that was a terrible casting.
It was so bad.
Dude, no Ursula will be better than Queen Latifah in the musical one.
She's so amazing in that. That's like,
that's so, the live is
she's
so
good.
Many better people who could have played her.
Yeah.
Melissa chose that.
Right.
Like, even looking back at like casting for live action movies, they've always been super good about that. Like The Lion King had the most stacked cast ever. They had Beyonce as Nala. Like, you know what I mean? We were able to get Beyonce to play the prevalent female, like, songs and all that. And then for this one, they said, we're going to make it even better. Melissa McCarthy,
who's never sung.
What are your guys' thoughts? Y'all like that?
Her lip syncing was so bad.
Oh,
she wasn't even trying, I felt like.
Yeah, I feel like all the songs were overlaid over the scene. Like, I know that's how they do it.
Right.
But it
was
felt
noticeable.
Like that. It didn't feel like fluent.
Yeah, and I don't know if I don't think that's an issue on Melissa McCarthy's end too, because I felt that way with every song. Every song, I was trying to think back to specifically Les Mis was coming up a lot, because that's one of my favorite movies, and it's 3 hours of just singing. And I was trying to think back of, because with musical movies, we all know, like, all of this is overlaid. They're just trying to lip sync it. The actors are just using their mouths to just mimic it right now. But I was thinking back, and I'm like, I don't recall many moments in that movie where it felt like, oh, this is all lip syncing. This whole movie felt like the entire thing. I'm like, yeah, they're lip syncing. This is horrible. I couldn't focus at all on the music.
Yeah.
In fact, I told you guys after the movie, I thought the best part of the music was Ariel's songs, where she specifically didn't have a voice. So we were just hearing the song over all of the stuff going on. So we actually got to listen to the song and enjoy it.
In her head.
That was an interesting thing to include in this movie.
That was weird.
Because, like, a lot of the original, she doesn't have a voice. So it's just like everything else is happening to her. Yeah. But like her having this song where like she's interacting with like new things, with fire, with
that's
walking.
That's a new song, right?
It's a brand new song, yeah. So it's just like her like interacting, like having all these new experiences. But obviously like she doesn't have a voice. So it's like interesting.
I actually think that song and for context for the audience, this is her having just become a human,
right?
And she's been picked up and she's now a human being escorted through the castle, and she's observing so much going on, fire and the forks and everything, whatever. I actually think that was the best part of the movie, that entire song, that entire sequence, because that was the only part of the movie I felt where Halle Berry, that's her name?
Halle Bailey.
Halle Berry.
Bailey.
Ariel.
Haley Bailey.
Where Ariel had nothing to base that whole scene on.
That's true.
It was completely original. So her as an actress, she got to do it all. Like, this is the first time we've ever done this part. so she gets to be an actress and just do it and see what comes out. That was
no comparisons.
That was the only part of the movie where her as an actress, her reactions felt authentic. It felt intentional, and she didn't have a word she was saying. She was just observing everything.
Right.
As opposed to everything else with her, I felt like this with a lot of the actors. Everything else felt like, okay, I gotta embrace the original movie and really pull that in. It's like, no, this just looks bad. This just looks bad. I'd much rather you try something interesting and different. Like, that's the point.
Yeah. I was watching some interviews with the cast before this, and you know the scene where she gets her leg, swims up to the top, and then does like the big old hair flip?
Yes.
How she was saying that like she almost like broke her neck doing that because her hair was so heavy from being wet. And I'm sure she had to do multiple takes on that too to like get the perfect like hair flip. But yeah, I just thought that was really funny that like she's like the hair was so heavy.
I was thinking that too, and I saw it, I was like, bro, that's a lot of hair.
Yeah.
I can't imagine trying to do that scene over and over. I'm imagining the first attempt on it of just like all right, guess I'm going to try, and just like completely whiffing and all the hair just collapsing on top of you.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of hair.
Yeah.
That would have sucked. And then coming out the water, too, it's all wet.
Gosh.
Dude, which brings me to another point. No, dude. Something about King Triton, he just was never wet. Why was that? Why was he never wet?
Why was he never wet?
Like when he came out the water, his beard totally fine, hair totally fine. The only time people were wet was like when the mermaids came out at the end.
Yeah, they were very wet. Like all of them at the very end, all the mermaids and mermen that came out and like they
wet.
came out of the water, they were so wet.
I came
like
out the water.
It was ridiculous how wet all of them were.
Right.
But then Triton, just
dry.
No wet, completely dry as an individual. I can't imagine an individual being that dry actually as a water creature too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he just came out.
Why are you laughing? We're being totally serious here.
It just wasn't wet.
They just were. Why were only some of them wet? I would expect all of them to be wet.
Oh man.
So much hair, no, never wet.
That's true.
Dude.
Gosh.
Okay, we got to talk about it.
What?
Look, I don't think I hate this movie as much as David, but every single time,
I know what you're gonna bring.
They showed Flounder, the fish. I actually cringed up in a ball because it looked so gross. I knew I wasn't going to like the fish. I kept talking about how I'm not going to like the fish. And I went into this movie thinking, you know what? I feel like in most of the times when you think you're not going to like something in a movie, you end up being like, oh, I didn't even notice. Like Mario, for example. I remember thinking the whole time, Chris Pratt's going to ruin this movie because he's not doing an accent.
The accents are going to kill me. And
Right.
it's not
and then you didn't notice.
Right.
Sebastian was the same way. I thought Sebastian looked so crazy before. I actually think he looked fine in the movie.
He looked great, yeah.
Like in the movie, I was like, huh, he looks okay.
I couldn't get over Sebastian.
But Flounder, I hated it. Every time they showed the fish, I looked away and I was just like, get the fish off the screen. It's so gross. It's so gross. I don't like it.
I think he's so cute in the animated that it was really hard to like try to find like an accurate cute fish.
I don't know. And it seems like this is a consistent issue with the Disney live action stuff where, a lot of the stuff that they're trying to do is animals talking, but it's live action. So we have to make it look real. And it seems like that always misses the mark. I don't know what the right answer was with Scuttle, Flounder, and Sebastian and everything else.
I have it.
It just did not work. What do you have?
I have the answer.
What is the answer?
Just do it Looney Tunes style.
Oh, bro.
Just make them cartoons. Everything else could be live action, but the animals, they're cartoon.
Yeah, but then I feel
it's like Roger Rabbit.
You'd run into the issue of like, I mean, that would be a fun style, but the animation would literally just be the 2D original movie. You know what I mean?
Awesome. I'm totally fine with that.
Would have been way better, honestly.
Because, seeing the mermaids in live action was actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
I did like some of the shots they had. I thought, you know what, that's cool, whatever. The only problem was the animals. Just make them just do like animated animals like we did in Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
We did in the Looney Tunes movies.
We had
those
that in
movies,
Enchanted too, right?
Those
Yes.
movies are great.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Enchanted, yeah, all the animals.
Great movie.
They're animals that talk. They're just animated.
I mean, Enchanted, I feel like, is a really good example of like all of these live action movies that Disney's trying to do. Just make the people live and do everything else. A ton of the other stuff, just do the animation. Everyone will see it, and no one will complain anymore.
And it's probably going to be cheaper.
It would be.
And then the best part is you keep all your good animators for the real animated movies, and you get to save all the CGI people you're using. You can just save them for Marvel. And keep making Marvel better with CGI.
Yeah.
I've just solved all of Disney's problems right here, right now. And
Where is the check? Where is the check?
Bob Iger, please listen.
I think I would enjoy all the live action movies. The only one that would have been bad, obviously, would have been The Lion King because it's literally all animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do something different there. I mean,
For like Little Mermaid, this would have been great to do it that way and test it.
bro, can you, dude? The Lion King live action though, but just put all of the actors in animal costumes. Just do the Broadway musical actually at that point, you know? And just, this is live action.
You know,
what do you want?
They might have considered it, and then they saw cats and said, "Never mind.
True.
Can't do that. Can't do it. Can't do it. Get James Corden out of here.
No.
He's knocking on the doors."
Oh my gosh.
One big difference I did notice, it's not really that big, I guess, but
It's huge. Whatever you're about to say, Carissa, massive.
It's
massive.
You're the expert.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So in the original, I don't know if you noticed, but Ursula has 6 tentacles and 2 arms.
She came prepared.
So
she
that-
heard the Brad Stallings episode.
I did.
had
I was
notes.
honestly like, I'm going to be sort of like Brad Stallings, but I can't actually be him because he killed it.
Brad Stallings, huge
Shout
inspiration to us all.
Big
shout out, super fan Brad Stallings. Love you.
Well, okay, so
back to you. I just had
right, yeah, thank you. So Ursula in the original movie had 6 tentacles and 2 arms.
Okay.
Because 8 tentacles was too expensive to animate.
Okay. Yeah.
In this one, she had 8 tentacles and 2 arms. I was like trying to count her tentacles. Yeah, she had 8.
That's
so I just thought that was interesting.
detail.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
I heard they did the same thing to Sebastian too.
Really?
His legs were different or something.
What do you mean?
No, it's the same exact thing you're saying. Would also happened to Sebastian too.
Oh, he has more legs in this movie?
No, people thought that he has more legs, but in reality, he actually has the same amount. They just redid like the pinchers.
Oh, okay.
It's the 2 back legs behind him.
Oh, his little like swimming legs.
I mean, if that's what you want to call them, they look like they were just being dragged.
I thought they were just like pushing him along, you know, like.
I thought they were wings. They were clearly wings that the crab had. Okay,
Dude,
that's what they were.
Dude, the crab has super speed.
Yes.
When he chased after the wagon, I was like, "Oh my god! Oh, look at him go! He's going as fast as a horse!
Yeah.
Holy
He's
cow!
faster than the dog trying to eat him right now.
Oh my god, he was going insane!
He
bro.
was
What
very
the heck?
fast,
Yeah.
incredibly
He said-
fast.
It was crazy.
I think there was one moment with the 3 main ones, Scuttle, Flounder, and Sebastian. There was one moment in the movie that I was like, that's cute. I like that. And it was during the Kiss the Girl song. And they were going to the backside of water, on the opposite side of the waterfall. And they had a moment where, as the song is going, Eric is rowing the oars, and all 3 of the animals are on the end of the oars singing at them, and just as it's rotating, and then he brings it down into the water. They all come back up, super soaked, continuing to sing.
Yeah.
That was the only moment of the movie. I'm like, that's funny. That's a good moment.
That is cute.
That's good.
I loved the way that we talked about it earlier, but I loved the way that she told him her name.
Yes.
Because that was different from the original as well.
Mm-hmm.
So like in the original, during
Ricky's currently doing it.
during the Kiss the Girl song, he's like, "What's your name?" He's like trying to figure it out, and then Sebastian whispers it to him, and he's like, "Ariel."
Ariel.
Yeah, he's like Ariel.
In the original, right?
Right. Yes. And this one, he's trying to guess, and she points at the constellation Aries. So he's like, "Oh, Aries," and then like as he's saying Aries, she'll like put her fingers on his mouth so that
paws his
mouth.
mouth.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
She bum bumps him.
What?
What?
From Kevin Hart. You
Oh
remember that?
no,
The bum bump?
no.
No, what is
Well,
this?
okay, sorry. I just threw it
Way
off.
to interrupt the expert.
For like the one person out there that's seen the Kevin Hart special, they're gonna think that was hilarious. And then saw this movie. Hopefully.
Shout out to you.
But yeah, she like paused his mouth so that he stopped saying the full words. It was like Ariel. And she's like, Ariel? And she's like, yeah.
That moment was actually so cute.
Yes.
That was the only scene of the two of them where I felt like they actually had some kind of connection.
Yeah.
And again, I think it comes from they were being interesting in the scene, right? Like I with the live action remake stuff, it feels like they're trying to we got to replicate it. But the best parts of these movies are when they actually do something a little different. Yeah. And like that's why we want this.
Yeah.
If we're going to do it, do something interesting with it.
Exactly.
Be real. I do think the second half of the movie was better than the first.
When they get out of the water.
All of the out of the water, because all the audio sounded fine for something.
Yeah.
That every interaction between humans, like actors, felt like, even though some of it was odd, it felt more authentic than everything going on in the water. Because I also know that in the water, the actors were probably looking at so many green screens and everything. Meanwhile, on the land, they actually got to be together and actually doing the scenes and all that.
Yeah.
The energy completely shifted when we got to be on the land. That said, I don't think the acting was that great, but I do think the only that moment of Ariel trying to convey her name to Eric, that was probably the sweetest moment and the best acting of the movie.
Yeah.
I really wish when they were in the water, they would have kept it to like the animated movie where they use the fish, but like, remember in the animated movie when we first see them come into the festival or whatever, it's like the sea lions are like playing the trumpets and stuff like that, and they're hyping it all up. I loved those moments. Yeah. Where were those? Those were so sad. And the sisters too. Don't the sisters have like a whole thing?
They have a whole song.
They have a song.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other thing,
we didn't get any of that.
Right. Yeah.
And then when they did the Under the Sea song, there was no animals playing. That was my favorite part. It was the fish are playing the band.
Yeah.
The octopus is the drummer, and he's like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. That was awesome. And this one, it was like an acid trip. I was like, dang, I should have taken drugs before this. This would have been way cooler.
$250 million budget. And we know it all went to CGI and still fell flat because I thought the same thing. The whole opening, oh my God. Quick note on the opening, okay? Because I was thinking that too. I'm like, there's a song to start it off. Yeah. And then there's a huge throne and all the animals and everything. First off, Triton's throne is just a rock. It's just one big rock. It's pathetic.
Yeah.
His little council room for his children to sit in, it's just nothing.
And none of them even live here.
They don't live here. It's literally nothing. No one else is there. No animals. There's nothing. Apparently, there's a festival going on soon. No one cares. No one is there for it.
Yeah.
But
cheaped out on all that.
The absolute worst way to start any movie was done in this movie, where in order to summon people, Triton, I believe it was Triton, was blowing a horn. And the horn...
It was the shell.
It was the shell.
Yeah.
It actually was a shrieking, piercing noise. And he blows it 3 times. And I actually wanted to die. I was like, this is horrible. I think I said that too. Yeah. I can't do this. That was the opening of the movie. Immediately set me off.
Right. Yeah, no, I was stoked for that song with all the daughters. And then when he's just like, hello, so-and-so, hello, so-and-so. And they're just like, hey, Dad. I was like, oh, this isn't happening. All right, cool.
Yeah, very pathetic opening to this movie.
Yeah, and then they have the whole scene where the sisters are all getting ready for the festival, and they're talking to her, and they're like, "You're crazy for wanting to go up there," and stuff like that. Like, yeah, none of that was executed properly.
Yeah,
and even in the festival scene in the animated, I can show it to you later. But my favorite part as a kid,
you're gonna show it to the expert.
Well, maybe you do know this. Let's see.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Do you know who's in the audience when they're doing the festival, or when he's charioting up to the?
Yeah, it's Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. I do.
If you slow it down,
Donald and Goofy in the movie.
That's good. No, it's good. It's a hidden Mickey.
Yeah,
it's just a hidden Mickey. It's like a frame. You have to really like slow it down and pause it. But if you look in one of the frames at the audience, they're just down there, just looking up.
Yeah,
it's awesome. It's a cool little like nod.
Boys, how did we get here?
It's Kingdom Hearts, bro. They're stuck in this
Sora.
world. They're stuck in the freaking Little Mermaid world. That's the worst world.
I think we're in the wrong spot.
Little Mermaid really has been done dirty so many times. The Kingdom Heart levels in Little Mermaid, I hate those. They make it well, you can skip it in the second game.
But that bad?
But in the first game, it's so bad. Well, it's not necessarily like skipping in the second. It's just like quick. In the first game, though, I hated the Little Mermaid world. I hated it so much. It's so annoying. It's like you're trying to do the most tedious things, but the swim mechanics are so bad, and the song playing is the Under the Sea, and it's different, and it's so loud and so annoying.
Just like this movie.
Yeah, like you start to fight like the Heartless, and it's like you're fighting the Heartless, and it's really hard to fight because you're swimming, so it's a whole new game mechanic. And then as soon as you kill the last one, it's like immediate. And then you're just back to. It's just so annoying.
Oh my gosh, bro.
One thing I did notice going back to like the whole daughters thing is that I'm pretty sure in the original they all had names that started with A. So like Alana and something
And something.
Yeah, I don't remember their names. There's like
something.
There's like 7 of them. Yeah, exactly. They all had names that started with A's because like obviously, and then they're like, and our little sister Ariel, and she's not there. In this one, they all had like interesting names like Tamika and something else.
They were Atina, Andrina, Aquata, Adela, Alana, Arista.
That was
and
is that from
Ariel.
the
original?
Yes.
Okay. Ariel.
Yeah. Because that's the whole thing in the movie. They're like, my sister Alana and Arita, and then
I really like your impression of the song from the original.
It's a lot better than that.
No, I
Obviously.
really like it. Da, 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 da.
Yeah. So
They're all more so in like the TV show too. I remember that. Too.
yes.
Yeah.
And their names like Indrina, Perla, stuff like that. So I thought that was interesting too. Like Tamika, Karina, Caspia.
I guess nixing that entire first song, they were like, I guess maybe we introduce them. Do we need to introduce them? Because they're literally not relevant at all to the movie.
I'm sure, yeah.
But like, I guess we could name them. This is a whole Inception topic. Bro, names matter.
The names matter.
Yeah, names
I just
matter.
don't think, honestly, I really think the only reason they didn't put them in is because they didn't want to have to keep CGIing more mermaids.
That's
true. Truly
They
what it
had
was.
4 years to do this. Though.
$250 million easily
So
could have
much
done
money.
it. They just
And
didn't want to.
yeah, $250 million, and you're telling me we had to nix the opening number of this huge movie, and instead an essential number we have to do is Scuttlebutt, the new rap song that Aquafina sings.
And
yeah, good replacement. Yeah, good choice, guys.
just some numbers for people to understand, like if you don't really know like budgets and all that to movies, $250 obviously is a lot. We all know that.
a lot of money.
For reference though, like Guardians of the Galaxy, those movies all around that same number, 250 mil. So you can see the potential. Biggest CGI movie ever, Avatar, 350 mil.
Yeah.
So like just to put that into perspective of how much went into this, like $100 million for a movie with some CGI is fine. Like, you could put dinosaurs in there. I think Jurassic Park's like 200 million.
Right.
Or 65.
Yeah, 65. That one, yeah.
Great movie.
So 250 million is a lot of money to really mess that up and like make the CGI bad, because the CGI in this movie was not great.
Yeah.
When it needed to be good, it was terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't like Nat Geo, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wasn't expecting that, but
I mean,
it
the
was still
underwater
kind of
scenes-
like rough sometimes.
They like CGI'd so much of the underwater scenes. We could have just taken Nat Geo footage.
True.
And that would have been
That
fine.
is part of Disney.
I mean, they did for the first 30 seconds of the movie was just us looking at waves for
Right.
some reason.
Loved
Right.
it. I loved all the real shots of the ocean. I was like, dude, this is so pretty. That's just personally though, because I really love like looking at like videos of underwater, like marine biology and all that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff is so cool to me.
It's hard when like we know going into it how much CGI there's going to be, right? And we've seen the trailers and everything. We know that's going to be very heavy. And for us knowing that, and a lot of movies we see now are CGI heavy, it's very obvious when it's failing there, right?
Yeah.
Where like I think like someone who hasn't seen a movie in forever, they're gonna be like, "This is so cool." But for us, seeing every freaking movie now, we're like, "Oh, that's bad. That's bad. The CGI right there.
Yeah, bad CGI.
There's just nothing. There's nothing there. There's literally nothing going on over there. Wow, that looks horrible. Like 250 mil.
Yikes.
I've seen horror movies with a quarter of the budget look better than that.
Yeah,
That's true.
A tenth, yeah. Like seriously, like the budget was huge, but everything like the Ursula when she went Mega Ursula,
sicko mode. Yeah,
so bad. It looked so bad,
and then can't understand her.
You don't know what she's saying. I didn't know what was happening because it was so dark. The whole scene was so dark, which fine, it's at night, whatever. But like, I just could not see her at all. Every time I did get a glimpse of her face, it looked terrible. And then any magic scene with Ursula looked so bad. Like
it
when
was way too janky.
Yeah, when she pulled her into the ocean, I was like, ew. Like the tentacles looked terrible. Then the eels. Oh, the electric eels looked so. I didn't know what was happening. That was like, I felt bad for Halle Bailey because her acting looked really bad. But I know that's just because in real life they had her just say, "All right, wave your arms." And she's like, okay. And then they animated it and made it all look terrible.
Yeah.
So bad.
It looks so bad.
Anytime that she was supposed to be like scared or like restrained and trying to break out, it was funny that for half a second she'd attempt to break free and then just give up. And she's just being dragged and like, I guess this is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I have to bring something up.
Oh no.
Okay. It's a minor thing, but I thought about it a lot because it kept happening constantly. If you get your real person clothes wet, do you not freak out in real life? Because I do.
What do you mean?
Like if I go to the beach and I'm wearing a polo and like normal shorts, nothing swim related, and I don't have any extra clothes with me, like this is it. There's no part of me about to go wading into the water, right? Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I could not get over that. Apparently, everyone, maybe it was because of the joy at the end, but even the queen in a full freaking gown,
like petticoat, yeah,
in a full petticoat, just like, I'm going to wade out fully into the ocean with all of this on. It's all going to get wet, and it's perfectly fine. Also, everyone else is going straight into the water. The clothes are fine. Me, I would have been, no, I'm staying on the shore. I don't care if mermaids are showing up. I'm staying on the shore. I have nice clothes. I would have to go through and clean them all. It's a whole ordeal. I don't even want my servants to deal with that. I thought about that constantly during that scene. And every time Eric showed up on shore covered in water, I'm like, oh man, they gotta take care of all his clothes now.
He's gotta go change.
Yeah, he's gotta go change. It's all icky. It probably smells disgusting. That's clearly the only outfit he has too.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the only outfit.
He just has like
blouse.
Yep.
Yeah, he just has like multiple in his closet, just like the vest and the white shirt and the pants.
The
Yeah,
white
the boots.
shirt that's as thin as humanly possible, so that if it gets wet at all, he may as well just be shirtless.
Right.
I mean, that's for living in a castle and being a prince. Their budget doesn't seem very high.
Dude, another thing, that whole fight scene, that was a 12-hour at least fight.
Yeah,
because we're right outside the cat. It was like, it's sundown. Oh no, so that's like what, 6, 7 o'clock, right? Mm-hmm. Takes Ursula back. Ursula takes Mermaid back into the water.
He yeets her into the ocean.
Big fight scene. Prince Eric comes back to the beach. It's morning.
Yep.
And I was like, dude, holy cow. My man has been struggling.
Dude, yeah, he's just been trying to swim back to shore, bro.
It's been like 12 hours and he's just dying. He's got to be so tired. I would have been exhausted.
Literally.
I mean, with this movie, right, like, it's mainly a kid's movie.
It's meant to be fun.
Yeah, it's meant to be fun.
All these things are nitpicky for us. They're just funny. It's like, 12-hour thing.
Yeah, this is the kind of kids movie, though, that, like, if I had a kid and I brought them there, the whole time I would have been like, I really wish I didn't have this kid to bring to the movie. This is horrible. Like,
yeah,
we could have seen anything else. That, like, because there are good kids movies out there. We've seen them. There's good kids movies. This was not it, bro. The kids may like it, they may enjoy it, but they don't understand. They're stupid. Just facts. Also, sorry, ranting now. immediately at the beginning of the movie, remembering that Ariel is a teenager, I did realize, oh, this is why I'm not going to like this movie, because teenagers in movies are horrible.
Oh, yeah.
I said it at Avatar, I'll say it again. Teenagers in movies, awful. They're meant to be dumb to drive the plot forward. Horrible. Horrible.
Literally. Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. That's it. I'm done. I'm done with this episode.
What was your favorite part?
What was your favorite part?
Oh, my favorite part.
You liked it.
Okay.
Well, you liked it more than we did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I've been driving all the negative stuff, but that's, bro, okay. The favorite part, though, before we go to the banana meter.
Gosh. I really did enjoy the Kiss the Girl, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
That was really good.
The best song in the whole movie.
Yeah, I also really enjoyed them connecting throughout the day as well, like when they were on the carriage and like she was driving the carriage and like crazy, and how she was going through the market and he's just trying to like follow right behind her. They were dancing.
That was hype too.
Like I thought that entire interaction. Yeah, right. And then of course the Kiss the Girl. I thought that they did pretty well, like with like the CGI there, where like at the end where they're under the tree again and they're like Scuttle's like activating all the fireflies, and it's just like cool. It's just like pretty. They were staring at the stars, like all of that.
That scene was where all the money went.
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoyed that.
That was a good scene.
$250 million.
It's a lot of money.
The sad thing too is like nobody was getting paid. There's no way Awkwafina took the budget. There's no way. I mean.
Maybe she was a huge part of the movie.
You might think Halle Bailey took the budget, but she was casted for this movie back in like 2018.
Yeah, she was.
What was she doing back then? I have no clue. Therefore, there's no way she took the budget.
I guess.
The Hamilton guy? No way he took the budget. Hamilton had just come out.
Yeah.
There's no way he took the budget.
Melissa McCarthy.
Maybe he was probably the highest paid person in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate and very disappointing and sad, because she was a terrible casting for that.
Gosh.
I did read that RuPaul got asked to do Sebastian, but he didn't want to do a Caribbean accent, so they wouldn't let him. But I think that would have been totally fine. If I offered RuPaul the job and he said I don't want to do a Caribbean accent, I'd have been like, you know what? I actually don't want you to. I want you to just be you.
It would have been more interesting than just trying to replicate it.
Right. It would have been funnier. And it would have been even better, because then we wouldn't need Awkwafina, because that would have been way too much of the same energy.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Better.
Yep.
Because we don't need Awkwafina. She's in everything already.
She's in everything.
We don't need her in this too.
It is so funny. I like Awkwafina. In this role, I hated it, but she doesn't bother me that much. I love how much you despise seeing her in the movie.
I don't like Awkwafina. It's the same acting in everything she does, and it's just annoying.
I think her voice really took me out of the movie for this one, just because she was just like squawking, which like it makes sense. She's a bird, but like.
Oh my god!
What?
Oh, you're saying she was playing a bird.
Yes, sorry, yeah. No. No, she was playing a bird. She was Scuttle.
Yes. Sorry. I was like, wow, what an insult.
No.
Nah, it's Awkwafina. She's annoying. We're probably going to see her again in another movie later this year. And
it's definitely tough with voiceover stuff when the voice is so recognizable.
Distinct,
oh my gosh, we haven't even touched on that. She was so bad for voiceover. Bro, all the voiceovers were so bad. Everybody in this movie does not know how to do voice acting. They were so bad. Like every Awkwafina line just felt like she was just reading lines in a room.
Oh yeah.
Without ever picturing the animations or the expressions she has to do. Like typically with voice acting, you'll see videos of it, of them really getting into like the emotion of what their character's going through. And even sometimes they'll show them the animation, or at least the storyboard of like, hey, this is what we want your person to look like. Or even better, they say, you know what, just feel the emotion and we'll animate it around you. Awkwafina, everything with her, and even Sebastian, all of it just felt like, read these lines, animate this, we'll just throw it together at the end.
Yeah.
Neither needs to be cohesive together, we'll just put it together at the end.
We'll put it together in post.
And it was terrible. Yeah. All the voiceover was just so bad.
Yeah. I mean,
you could just not, I don't know, it was bad. I just saw Awkwafina just sitting there in a room, like in her trailer, while she's filming Renfield, just doing the lines for this movie, and then going back out and being in Renfield and ruining that too.
With that note, let's get the banana meter in here. I'm done with this episode. No.
Hey, that's my wife. That's my wife. Get out
back off, boys. Back off. I'm taken.
No kissing. We have a rule in this house. No kissing.
Lady boss. Woo!
Can't kiss any.
Whoa, guys.
No
Whoa.
kissing the guest.
Calm
Remember
down.
what happened last time you kissed a guest? He hasn't been back.
Was it Colton?
Yeah.
Colton, okay, mini boss, we you.
Bro, I just looked at the sound recording for a moment during all of that chaos, and it's just everything spiking.
Yeah. Because we were all talking at the same time.
That was great.
We weren't
All right,
talking.
no kissing. No kissing. Just turn on the banana.
Yes,
meter.
mini boss. Yes, no.
No
Colton.
kissing. Don't
No
kiss each
Colton,
other. Don't
please.
kiss her. No kissing me.
Oh,
No.
mini boss. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, mini boss. Yes, daddy.
No, don't call me daddy. No daddy.
Guys, better keep. No Colton. We go back to Colton. No Colton.
No Colton. Okay. All right.
Mini boss. Yes, proud praise, mini boss. Woo.
All right.
They really don't like Colton.
No, they don't.
Colton.
They lived there for like a week.
Yeah,
that one's crying.
Yeah, it's traumatizing, bro. They still have to come to me in the evening, and when they have bad dreams, they're usually, "Oh, I saw Colton." And I'm like, he's not here.
All the applesauce he fed them. That's all in Colton's fridge.
Oh
all
my
they have.
gosh.
Oh man. All right, who wants to go first on Banana Meter today?
Do you want to end on a good note? Because I can go last if you'd like
Yeah,
to.
you started.
Yeah,
You started.
We'll have me and Ricky and Carissa. Okay. All right. Look.
Start low and high.
Yeah.
I think I'm in the middle of both of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, the movie immediately I was not happy when it started shrieking at me. All of the audio sounded horrible in the water. All the music. I mean, the best music was when we didn't see anyone talking or trying to sing with the music because it never looked overlaid correctly. The Halle Bailey.
Yeah.
Halle Bailey. Her singing is great in the songs where she's not singing on the screen. Those songs are fire. There was only like 2 scenes that I was like, these are good. And it's her reacting in that new song, as well as the moment of her trying to convey her name to Eric. Otherwise, the acting felt like there was no life in the acting. No one was reacting to anything. They just were trying to get through the lines or replicate the original movie. I hated this movie. I think it's the worst one we've seen on this show. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how much I despise this movie. I genuinely, there's a part of me that's like, do I say this? Do I say this number?
Oh, no.
Is this possible? Because I actually am going to give it a 0.
Wow.
I think there's not even a banana to think about with this movie.
No banana.
I know. That's the worst sin, guys, right? No banana. The banana's
first we
gone.
Go to Colton's and no banana.
The banana has not even been thought of. The movie, no one cared about it. $250 million down the drain. Now that said, if you're taking your kid to go see it and you're like, let's do it for nostalgia because I watched it when I was a kid and this will be fun. That's a good reason to go see the movie. But the movie on its own, actually the worst movie I've ever seen. I genuinely feel that, and I'm going to stick to my guns.
I can't believe you're rating it lower than Super Pets.
Super Pets actually made me laugh. Though.
Gosh.
Even with the jokes throughout this movie, all of them fell flat to me.
Okay.
And I really did try to go into it of like, I don't expect much, but there's going to be something enjoyable. The only times where there was supposed to be a laugh, in my opinion, was lines from Sebastian. And every time the timing felt off, they never hit right because I don't think the voiceover situation was going very well to begin with. And also, I never got over how Sebastian looked. Same with Flounder. Every time he's on screen, I'm like, I hate this.
Oh, Flounder.
I hate this. I'd much rather it literally be a man in a crab costume. That would have been way better. I actually am baffled by this movie. Horrible.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, Ricky, I'm done. Banana, hate it.
No banana.
David left.
He has to walk off.
No, I'm here.
He's gonna walk off his rage.
I don't think it's the worst movie we've seen. I think Don't Worry Darling was worse. I think I didn't like Super Life of Pets, whatever Super
Pets.
World Pet Domination. I would rather watch this than Renfield again. And a lot of movies I'd rather watch over this one. But that being said, I still think this movie wasn't that good. The live action stuff, out of all the live action movies that have been made by Disney, this is the only one where I thought, wow, this one could have had potential. Like, because, I mean, the only other one would have been Aladdin, but Aladdin, I mean, who cares about Aladdin? That live action sucked.
What?
The genie, Will Smith, you can't.
Oh,
you can't,
okay, yeah. Sorry, I forgot
Robin
about that.
Williams.
I forgot about that.
Ever.
He's also painted blue.
That's the rule. Don't recast Robin Williams in anything ever.
That's
wow,
facts.
new rule we've just learned about from Ricky.
Oh, I love Robin Williams, bro. Don't ever
can't replace him.
recast.
Yeah.
If they ever do
Flubber.
a Flubber, if they ever redo it, banned. I'm not watching it.
Boycott.
Boycott, won't watch it. Only way they'll get me to watch it is if it's Danny DeVito. It's
Or
the only way.
Dead Poet Society can't.
They won't
Yeah,
recount any
no.
of those movies.
I know. I'm just saying.
Luckily, that's like the only Disney movie he did was Aladdin.
That's true.
But that being said, Little Mermaid, it was okay. I mean, I didn't really necessarily hate it as much. I just did not like the fish. Every time I saw the fish, I think I felt how you felt with the Avatar sex scenes. Every time I saw the fish, I felt disgusted.
Are you talking about Flounder in general, or like? Are you talking about Flounder or all
Just
the fish?
Flounder.
Okay.
When Flounder was out there showing his stupid little gills, I was like, ugh. Yeah. Ugh, he just looks gross. Like, there's just something about like seeing the fish animated. Like, fish already in general like that are just kind of weird looking.
Can we talk about how we all hate fish here?
I like fish.
Can we talk about how fish just suck?
But like, the fish was just a weird fish,
Dude,
man. He looks
yeah.
so ugly.
Dude, why are fish so wet?
They would have been better off just filming a real fish swimming around.
Dude, facts. That's
I would've been
actually
fine with
true.
that. I would have been fine with that. They could have done the freaking the talking fish that you put up on the wall and it sings to you.
Yeah.
I would have been way happier with that.
That's dumb.
There's just too many ways that this movie could have gone and that they didn't do. The songs were all right. Halle Bailey killed the singing in it.
Mm-hmm.
Eric's song was, I mean, he killed singing, but the song was whack.
Mm-hmm.
Kiss the Girl carried. The scene in the village, that carried. Everything else was pretty trash. I don't like Melissa McCarthy at all. I don't like Awkwafina at all. The No Country for Old Men, he should have just said Captain Jack Sparrow a bunch of times, and I would have thought that would be better. I'll put this movie at like, I don't know. It did look pretty though. I did tell David that a lot.
I don't understand how you thought that, but I get that you have a thing
It
for
looked
water.
pretty. It
He
looked
does.
real pretty. Yeah, for that I'm gonna give it like a 30 because I liked the water.
Okay.
Wow, 30 because I liked the water. What
Wow.
a quote, dude.
I liked the water. I liked the village scene. Those were cute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I were to watch this movie again, I'm gonna get my hands on some hard drugs
Oh
and
my
see if
gosh.
that improves it. Because I felt that. I felt that in some scenes. The whole Under the Sea song, I was like, dude, if I was rolling right now, this would have been awesome.
Oh my
This scene would
gosh.
have been so cool if I
All
was
right,
out
if
of
it
my mind.
ever comes up on the podcast, ever in the next several years that you say that you watched that movie again, just remember, everyone, he definitely watched it extremely high.
yeah, exactly. Super inebriated. I that's the only way you could do that scene. The whole movie in general. And then you fall asleep for the rest of it. That's the way to watch it.
I guess.
Solid.
Yeah.
All right, super fan expert
All right.
Carissa.
Here's my hot take. I guess not really a hot take, but
Here it's probably a hot take.
I didn't dislike it as much as both of you did. I think it could have been a lot better. Absolutely. The casting could have been a lot better. I think Halle Bailey carried as much as she could of the movie.
Yeah, I feel bad for her.
Right.
I feel
Yeah.
bad. She already had so much flack going into it.
Right.
And then people are going to be like, we were right. And they're going to be like, no, you weren't right
No.
about that.
No, the
She
entire
wasn't- the movie
movie on
sucked.
its own is just bad.
Literally.
I don't care who Ariel was. It could have been a dude for
Yeah.
all I care. The movie just sucked.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No. She definitely was not supported by her supporting actors. That's for sure. What else? There were some good parts, like we've talked about. I did enjoy her renditions of the songs, the like originals.
Yeah.
Her new song too, I really enjoyed. What else?
Is it the new song, the one she's singing in her head?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That really was
catchy.
that was a good song. I
Right.
really did
Catchy.
enjoy that.
Yeah.
That was a Lin-Manuel classic.
Original.
Should have put his producer tag in the front.
What's his producer tag?
I don't know, but he needs to make it.
I feel like you knew that. Dang.
No, he needs to have one.
Wow, not a real fan, I guess. Wow.
I really enjoyed all the things that they included from the original movie. Mm-hmm. Like the lines and the songs and things like that. What else? Yeah, like I said, I didn't hate it. It was enjoyable to an extent. Looking at all of the things that we talked about as far as the CGI and all those things, it was kind of hard to watch at some points.
Yeah.
And the parts that I didn't like in the original, I also didn't like in the remake.
The final boss fight.
Right.
Don't know why we ever had that.
That one's so hard to watch in the original that they just couldn't make it any better in this one. Melissa McCarthy was just not great.
Trash.
Yeah. I would have preferred Queen Latifah again, to be honest. Like, she was incredible.
They could have just not had Ursula.
That's true.
That'd been better.
They could have cast literally anyone else.
Terry Crews.
Terry Crews would have been great.
I don't think her singing was good at all.
RuPaul Ursula, that would have been awesome.
So that's what I was thinking when you said RuPaul, and then we were like, no, Sebastian. I was like, okay, yeah, I guess.
RuPaul.
They wanted to be Sebastian.
Yeah.
No, if they'd been, dude, if RuPaul was Ursula,
so
been like, this is the new movie.
So they modeled the original Ursula after a popular drag queen at the time. So that would have made sense.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that would have made so much sense.
That's what Ursula is a drag queen.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, her tentacles were weird.
Yeah.
No, she was a no for me. What else?
The only character Disney's ever had modeled after like anything for the gay community, and they said, who's the furthest thing we could get from this for being woke and all that? Melissa McCarthy.
We know exactly.
Like, they're trying to be like inclusive and all that, which is cool, whatever. Like, and then they're doing this, and it's like the only thing that's ever truly been inclusive in Disney, they messed it up.
They literally missed completely on that.
What's your number?
Yeah, my number. See, I was gonna go a little bit like in the 70s.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to listen to.
No, you could.
Don't base it off us.
No,
right?
I
People
know.
are listening to this and they'll disagree, and that's their opinion.
No, absolutely. That's my
Why
opinion.
And that's why
I know having an opinion is a huge sin right now, but you're allowed to.
No, I know. I'll probably give it like a 65.
65.
Yeah. Would I pay again to see it in Dolby? No, because Dolby's expensive.
Oh yeah, big no. No one should see this in Dolby.
Yeah, I see.
We only saw it in Dolby because I like Dolby, and David and I's tickets are free, and then I forgot that I had to pay for you, but it was too late. It was the only time that worked.
Well, so I think that Dolby actually did give it some like good points on my end.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know, but would I recommend seeing it in Dolby? Probably not. Would I pay again to see it in Dolby? Absolutely not.
I guess since my biggest issue was the audio seeming to be just awful, Dolby completely enhances how bad it was to me. So that's why I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah,
but that makes sense. Otherwise, if that wasn't a huge deal to you,
right?
Disney Plus.
See, I didn't even notice until you mentioned it like earlier.
That's part of. I think that's part of being like I've been a part of like producing and stuff, and like I've produced this show, and Colton's taught me a bunch of stuff as well. Like, so I know some stuff, and I can pick it out. And so when it's really prominent, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
Yeah.
I thought too it was funny that they said, "Oh, look, it's the Little Mermaid" multiple times in the movie. Yeah, I thought that was kind of cheesy.
No, My Little Mermaid.
My Little Mermaid.
The girl sitting next to me every time was like, "Oh my god."
I think we were all saying that.
Facts, yeah.
Yeah, we were all saying that in our heads, but she just like vocally said it. So yeah, my number 65. It was fun. Wait to see it on Disney Plus if you really want to see it.
Yeah. No, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
What a range on this.
I know.
On this episode,
right?
Man. I mean,
oh man. Well, it was nice to go back to a theater today.
Yeah.
Haven't been in a while. I was hyped for that. Had some popcorn. Had my bunch of crunch. Oh man. That was a good time. That was a good time.
that was nice.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, Carissa, thank you so much for coming on the show with us today. This was a ton of fun.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Of course. I'm glad that we could have you in. Thanks for doing research, which we do not assign. I'm sure you've made Brad Stallings proud.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Straight Dude Date Night. Let us know what you think of the movie. You can yell at me for my 0, or you can yell at Carissa for her 65. You can't yell at Ricky because he's a good intermediate or in between on us.
It was fine.
It
wasn't anything. It's just that I like. I mean, look, you're gonna hear those songs eventually. I've listened to the part of that world 100 times already, because it's the first song that plays when I tell my Google or my Alexa to play Disney music when I'm hanging out with my son, and that's the first song that comes on, and so I know it word by word how she sings.
You were actually singing.
Oh yeah, I was having a great time.
So cute.
I was having a great time. The only thing about that song, it's really nitpicky. I don't know, people are really gonna be like, that's really annoying, but I hate the way she pronounces some of the words.
She enunciates a lot.
She enunciates like, what would I give if I could live
out of the...
I'll show you after this.
That comes with the territory of musicals,
Yeah.
though. Sometimes it's like really prominent. Yeah, I can feel that, though. I can see that.
That made me mad.
But
every time I make fun of it, but that's just me.
Nah. Let us know what you thought of it. If you're not following us already, be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok and subscribe on YouTube and all this good stuff. We're everywhere. Just look us up on Google. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts if you haven't already, or follow us on Spotify. Tell a friend about the show. That would be huge. And other than that, guys, I really hated this movie. Like, absolute. I didn't think a movie could hit a 0 for me, but I'm really glad I got to go to see it with you guys today. The best part of today was getting to hang out with you guys at the theater.
Heck yeah.
So thank you guys for allowing me to do that while watching this horrendous film.
Dude, every movie is just, it's really meaningless until we've hit Transformers Rise of Beasts.
Oh my God.
No.
It's going to be the only movie that hits hard.
God.
Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day. Have a good week.
June
Bye-bye.
7th.
Bye.
Book your tickets now.